What is going on, everyone? NFL Week 12 preview. Usually this is a Thursday show, but Thanksgiving, stuff like that. And I'm in a different spot. I don't have my normal background, but we're here. We missed the Thursday games, which were fun. We'll talk about them. We'll bring them up a little bit. But yeah, so different spot here this week, but the same deal. We got 13 games on the slate, two primetime games, so we'll talk showdown for those. Usually we got three because obviously Thursday night. I hope you guys did well on Thanksgiving betting and DFS wise. I had one bet on the Vikings first half and first half -1, and it was looking great. Greg Joseph, extra point, and a field goal would push. I was like, okay, that's fine. My buddy sitting next to me, this extra point's big. He goes, this extra point's big. I'm like, yeah, dude, I know it's big. Naturally, he misses it. Like, thanks, Greg Joseph. And then Mac Jones, Patriots drive down the field. Vikings secondary in 2-minute situation is horrendous, and they've been all year long. And I was like, as soon as he missed that, because my buddy said, this is a huge extra point, I knew the bet was just toast. So I had Vikings first half -1. And I was deciding between Vikings first half or Vikings full game. And I was like, I never chase. I'm so good with that. And I was like, I picked the wrong one. Vikings are winning this game. Got lucky maybe because that Hunter Henry touchdown probably should that Hunter Henry non-touchdown probably was a touchdown. So we got lucky with that Vikings cover. So the Hunter Henry touchdown and then the roughing the punter or running into the punter, like, come on, dude. I'll own it. Like, that might have been lucky. And that's the second time I got lucky with the Vikings. I got lucky in week 5 or 6 when they beat the Saints in London. Refs handed them that one. So Vikings a little bit of a luck box, but they keep on winning. Will hold up in December and January? Probably not. But we have other games to talk about, to look at the DFS slate, to put some bets in. So let's get into it. We have the Texans head to Miami, and Kyle Allen. Welcome back. Kyle Allen is, I wouldn't call him my guy, but he started for the Panthers for a few weeks, and now he's back, starting for the Texans now that Davis Mills has gotten benched. Is it an upgrade or is it a downgrade? I think it's nothing. I think there's very little difference between the two. I don't think Davis Mills is really a problem, but I don't think Kyle Allen is an objectively bad quarterback. It's just the Texans in general are bad all around. Dolphins are letting 2 touchdowns. I think they have a reasonable chance to cover this game. Am I going to bet it? Probably not. Maybe a little tease action. But from the DraftKings standpoint, I think you want to load up on the Dolphins. So what do we want to do? Who do we want to stack Tua with? So let's look at we'll go to flex and we'll go to Miami. Obviously, Hill and Waddle are on top. So Mostert's doubtful. And has he practiced this week? I saw him practice Friday, limited. Whether he plays or not, Wilson's getting a majority of the carries, but it's, you know what the Dolphins have been doing with the Hill Waddle. The Hill thing that I was talking about him not scoring finally came to fruition. I was like, play Tyreek Hill. He's gonna eventually score. He's getting all these targets, but he wasn't scoring per se. He scored, so I think you want to keep riding that Tyreek Hill wave because I said it's gonna hit and it's gonna hit heavy. So Tyreek Hill and Tua, I think, is a very viable stack against this Texans. And then if you want to get cute with a Texan to chase back with, I don't think you want to get cute, but it would be Nico Collins for me. I think they're going to be throwing, and Brandon Cooks wants to just be out of this program and out of the Texans organization. So that's that with that game. Sidewise, I would lean Miami. Okay, we will head to the Ravens and the Jaguars. So in this game, I actually bet the Ravens -3.5, and I was deciding between the Ravens -3.5 or the team total of, I think it was 24.5 for Baltimore. I ended up going with the 3.5 because there's going to be some weather in Jacksonville, and I'd rather lay the 3 in the hook than hope the Ravens can get to that 24-25 mark. They're going to be running the ball because it's going to be wet and maybe possibly windy in Jacksonville from the last I checked, and they run the ball to begin with. So combine that more with the weather. I think they're going to keep the ball on the ground 110%. This Jaguars defense is by no means has the capability to stop the Ravens offense at a macro level. So I think the Ravens are a viable option on the road, laying 3.5. And I talked about a few weeks ago, I don't know if you guys remember, look ahead in a few weeks, and the Ravens are going to be in the 1 seed discussion after they had 2 losses, and now look at their schedule. It's so favorable, and it's only going to get more favorable. They should win. They're road favorites against the Jaguars. I think the Ravens keep rolling, and I think before we know it, it's like, oh my God, are the Ravens battling for this home field in the playoffs? And I wouldn't want to go through Baltimore if I was the Chiefs. If I was the Bills, I wouldn't want to go through Baltimore. So the Ravens have it all laid out in front of them. They control their own destiny, and I think they'll keep rolling. So I laid that Ravens at -3.5 tomorrow afternoon. All right. Weird line. So Bengals head to, I wouldn't say weird line, but just a line that I don't really want to get involved with. So I want to see what the latest DraftKings report on. He isn't in line to play. I saw different things on Twitter that he was looking better. Oh, I didn't have the thing pulled up. So I just pulled up Jamar Chase's outlook. It says he isn't in line to play Sunday. This was at 4:00. Okay, then I probably saw it earlier that he was in line to play. So if Jamar Chase is playing, obviously Joe Mixon's out. I wrote up Tyler Boyd. And I wrote up Tyler Boyd because everyone's going to go to T. Higgins. And so this is weird. This is following me right here. I'm going to pull this off. So Tyler Boyd had that 1 week after Jamar Chase got hurt. What do you have, 29 points, something crazy like that. And then everyone jumped on Tyler Boyd. He raised up $1,000, $800 in DraftKings. I wrote up Joe Mixon. I wrote up T. Higgins. I said, Tyler Boyd isn't the Jamar Chase going to eat up all these targets. He's not that guy. He had his game, but he's not going to be that guy every week like Jamar Chase where he's getting 60% of the target share. Tyler Boyd is not that guy. Now I'm going to buy the dip. He's going to X amount lower, and I don't think he is the guy that's going to get all these targets, but they saw that he kind of dropped off after that big game. Okay, let's go to T. Higgins now that Mixon and now that Chase are still out. Tyler Boyd, I think, is still a viable option. I'm going to buy that dip, and it's been doing well when I'm buying these just small price dips. And I'm going to do the same thing for A.J. Brown in a few games when we get there. So game-wise, I don't really like either side. I think the Titans, whenever they're underdogs, even if it's 1.5, are in play. And obviously the Bengals are out 2 of their biggest weapons. I like Tyler Boyd heavily. So Tyler Boyd is my takeaway from this game here. On the show, we like to talk DFS betting. We got to try to give a take for either side. There's very few games where I'm like, I don't like anything, just stay away from it, but it happens here and there. So Bears or Jets. I originally bet the Bears +6 because I don't think the New York Jets. I think the New York Jets are good, but I don't think they have blowout capabilities in them. If you get what I'm saying, I think just like the Giants, they play close games more than likely. But Justin Fields is pretty unlikely to play. I'm seeing he is damn near separated his shoulder. The Bears aren't competing for anything. Why risk getting him hurt? I think they're going to keep him on the sideline. That's the latest report I saw. So Justin Fields is out. They have a backup. They just called up, what's his name? Something Peterson from the practice squad to be the backup. Who we saw the Bears offense kind of click when they were going to let Justin Fields roll, let Justin Fields be Justin Fields, opposed to letting him drop back and throw to who. And because the offensive line is horrible. You got to get him outside the pocket, got to let him roll, and it's been working. So now they get rid of that. What are they going to do offensively? And then I didn't even talk about the Zach Wilson situation. This is going to be an ugly game, I believe. It's going to – let me look at the weather real quick. East Rutherford weather. Tomorrow is going to be 100% precipitation. 12. This game is going under the total. That's my play. It's going under the total. And I kind of just wrote that. I kind of just brainstormed that right now. So Bears Jets going under the total. That's my takeaway from this game. I don't think you want to play anyone. If you got to play defense, take cheaper one in this option. Bears Jets under 30.5. Okay, Falcons at Commies. Commies kind of rolling. What's their record now? Commanders record. They've won a few straight. The Commanders are 6-5. Damn, they're in the juggernaut division now. 6-5. They are 3.5 games out of first place. They're not going to win first place, but they're kind of in the wild card discussion. So in comes Atlanta, who is a bit of a mess because they either look awesome and frisky or they're like the worst team ever. I think this is a game, pending the weather, that could get fun. DC weather. It's gonna rain tomorrow, so it's gonna be sloppy. I don't think that it's the sure like bet the under like I said with the Jets Bears. I don't know if I have any strong opinions on this game though. To be honest, this might be one of those games that I'm like, okay, stay away from all around. I'm gonna be honest. Like I'm not gonna say do this, because I know you guys are putting your real money into this and you value at least something that I'm saying. Yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion here. Looking at the prices, Cordell is the highest price guy at 6 flat, which is just crazy. Cheap game all around. Yeah, if I had to say one position, I would go Antonio Gibson, 5'4", opposed to Brian Robinson at 5'1". I think he's getting more. He not. I don't think he is getting more red zone touches than Gibson. I mean, than Robinson. But that's not a strong take, to be honest. I would say Gibson from this game. Okay. Broncos and Panthers. What a game this is going to be. This is the red zone game the game that's on red zone that you forget is just going on because you're watching red zone all day and you see the Broncos and Panthers, meaning that I think it's going to go under, but like I just don't want to bet the under here because it's a low total and the Panthers have those games where like those weird games where they just like score a lot of points. Sam Darnold is in at quarterback. Maybe he provides a little bit of a spark because I feel like whoever's that next guy in line at Panthers quarterback, they have one good game. Is Sam Darnold going to have one good game? Maybe. I was high on the Broncos the first 5 weeks, and I kept chasing it, and it was failing. I was objectively wrong. I'm not going to be right about everything. So let's find someone to play in DraftKings because this is just – wow. Let me pull up my screen. This is just going to be like what the hell? Okay. Carolina and Denver. Jerry Jeudy is out. This is a cheap game too. I mean, it makes sense. Do you want to play Deontay Foreman, the guy who just let's see Deontay Foreman's last game, 2.4. See, like you just can't trust these dudes, man. Because everyone was all over him a few weeks ago. So he went 22 to 2 points. I can't give you a play here. I just cannot. And I'm not going to force someone in a game that I don't think you should be playing. I know there's always vomit games that you have to play. I don't want to play anyone from this game, and I'm just not going to. I was trying to sneak Deontay Foreman. I don't think he's a good option. So we will move on to the Buccaneers and the Browns. What did I do here? I played the under in this game. Leonard Fournette, doubtful. Both of these games heavily on the ground. The weather is going to be horrible in Cleveland. It's going to be cold and windy and rainy. Whoever wins this game, it's going to come down to who controls the line of scrimmage, who controls the run game. With all that being said, I'm not going to say who it is. Probably lean Cleveland. In Cleveland, plus 3.5. Probably lean that. But with whoever does it, whether that's Tampa, whether that's Cleveland, I think it's going to eat a lot of clock and go under this total 42. I don't see there being 6 touchdowns in this game. I'm going to be honest. It's going to be heavily on the ground. Both these games like to control the ground game to begin with. Add in the rain, like I talked about in the Baltimore game. Add in the rain and the wind. It's going to be even more ground game. Buccaneers are going to rely on their defense too to stop that Nick Chubb attack. I think this game goes way under this total of 42, and this is the second under I'm going to be playing. So I'm going to be playing the under in this game. I'm going to be playing the under in this game, Bears and Jets. So Buccaneers, Browns, under a game that I don't have a strong DFS stance to. I like the under. So far, obviously, I like a lot of the Dolphins to play in DFS and maybe Tyler Boyd. Dolphins and Tyler Boyd is, if you're just tuning in now, Dolphins and Tyler Boyd. Okay. Raiders head to Seattle. This line, I think, opened at 3. Now it's all the way up to 4 or 3.5, but similar line. Look, the Raiders are just so annoying because they just continue to have these awesome drives, awesome quarters, sometimes even awesome halves. And then when it gets down to the other side of that, it just looks horrible because it's just so frustrating because you read these names. I don't even want to include Derek Carr. You read Jacobs, you read Adams, Matt Collins, Hunter Renfrow, some firepower in this offense, and it just never comes to fruition. Now they head to Seattle, a team we've been fading all year long. Do I want to put my nuts on the line with the Raiders? Because I know how firepower I feel like it'd just be Raiders first half. I bet that because we don't know what we're getting from a full game standpoint with the Raiders. We haven't seen it once all year. Am I willing to give them one more chance? I'm gonna have to crunch the numbers and I'm crunch the numbers. I'm gonna have to run a model, and I'm gonna have to actually look deeper into this game and decide if I want to bet the Raiders +4. That'd be my side, but I'm definitely leaning that way. So just DM me if later or tomorrow morning or later. I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be up from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. to watch the Joe Burger Open. I got 3 guys in the top 5. Because that's what we do in the swing season. We bet the DP World Tour. We bet South African golf events that go off at 2 a.m. So I'm gonna be up all night, probably putting NFL bets in. So if you're up, please DM me. If you want to ask me about this game, feel free to ask me about this game. But let's go, Sammy Valimaki. Let's do it. Sammy Valimaki, Daniel Von Tonder, and there's one more guy. Who else? One other guy we have in the Joburg Open, but that's golf. It is a football show. I like the Raiders +4. I very well may get there. All right. Chargers -3 at Cardinals. I like DeAndre Hopkins this week, and I will pull up the DraftKings slate for this game. I like DeAndre Hopkins here. Why do I like DeAndre Hopkins? Narrative play here on DeAndre Hopkins. I wrote this up the other day. Sunny Arizona. Okay, DeAndre Hopkins at 7-7. So, before Kyler got hurt, we saw DeAndre and Kyler have some decent success together. Obviously, the first few weeks have been awesome when DeAndre was there, and then it kind of went downhill. We saw DeAndre get in his face. Kyler, what are you doing? I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Where are you throwing the ball? They had the week to practice. Kyler's been out. He witnessed it. The Cardinals play horrible from the sideline. I think is a little bit of Kyler. Let's see what we could do now that Ertz is gone too. If he's going to go to his guy in DeAndre Hopkins, which makes me a little bit nervous for the Chargers and the Chargers' futures I have because they're 5-5, and I need them to win some games. To be honest, I need them to start winning. I have over 10. So yeah, that's my take on this game. DeAndre Hopkins, I think, is a hammer play this week. Gonna go on him heavy. So Hopkins, chase it back with whatever Chargers you want. I think this is an over game as well. All right, Saints head to San Francisco 49ers, who just may be a juggernaut. They may be a damn juggernaut. You read those offensive weapons, they're just elite. I teased the Cardinals last week, to 18 or 17. I was like, okay, Mexico game. NFL wants to keep this close, primetime action. Just blew them out. They're good. Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't know how he never was starting. Was it the injury? But no, he was back, and he was the backup quarterback. I don't know how they started Trey Lance because Jimmy Garoppolo, he gets so much crap. He's legit good. He's a game manager. He's an NFL quarterback. He gets the job done. He checks down to his weapons. He knows what's going on, and he wins football games. Against the Saints team, who is just in a downward slope, I don't think they want to win games. They don't want to start the right quarterback. They keep sending out Andy Dalton. They're not even having fun. It's the 49ers or it's nothing. So I think it's what did I say I like to be teased? I don't want to mess with the Jets. I think you get them to -7, and you get them to -2. You have a little action going there. I think that's a viable. You cross through 3, and you get it to 7. Pay -130. I think that's a very viable option for teaser. Not this game. 49ers and Dolphins, 7-point teaser, -130. Maybe don't win the Chiefs. All right, this is the next game we'll talk about. Chiefs and Rams. The Rams are on quarterback number 19. They don't have no Cooper Kupp. They're a mess all around. Offensive lines all over the place. I don't really know how they score points in this game. Now that I'm saying that, what is their team total looking like? I'm getting at Rams team total under. Bear with me for a second. I'll pull this up. Rams team total under 13.5. I don't want to lay 13.5 against the Chiefs defense just because they play so fast. They're gonna give the Rams opportunities to score, meaning they're just gonna score fast and the Rams are gonna have the ball. I don't want to lay under 13.5, but the Rams are a mess. I already bet some Chiefs stuff this week, so Chiefs or nothing. I would lay the 15.5. I think that's a viable option. I just don't see how they. I could see the Rams getting some stops. I just don't see how the Rams score any points. Is what I'm getting at. So Chiefs or nothing. If you're going here, play a lot of Chiefs too. Let's bring up the Chiefs. I will bring up the KC slate. So, you want to Kelsey at 7-7 is just going to be so highly owned. I didn't bring it up. Kelsey at 7-7 is going to be so highly owned, but he's so viable. And the thing with the Chiefs is receivers. Which ones do you play? So Tony's out, Hardman's out. Juju's back this week at 5-7. There is no way you play Juju Smith-Schuster at 5-7 versus MVS at 4 flat. No way. You play MVS. And I've been saying it all year long. Whatever the 3 Chiefs wide receivers, and it changes about a weekly basis, whoever's the cheapest one, you play. Because there's no rhyme or reason as to which one of those Chiefs wide receivers has a great game. I said it all year long. It paid off for us. It worked. It didn't work. The week McCole Hardman had like 32 points, something like 29 points. He was like $300 left just because he's the cheapest one. Then the week after that, he was the most expensive one besides Juju. And he threw out a stinker. But there's no rhyme or reason as to which Chiefs receiver gets the targets, unless it's Kelsey. I'm not talking about Kelsey. I'm talking wide receiver. Gets the targets. You play the cheapest Chiefs receiver every week. That's my take. Okay, Sunday Night Football. Packers and Eagles. I did a what are they called? Who played on Thanksgiving? Cowboys, Bills, Eagles, moneyline parlay. It was like plus 110. Eagles cap it all, so I think they win. So my thing with this game is the Packers had to rely on their defense and their running game to give them success in the first, 8 weeks of the season. That proved to not be successful, and it never will be successful with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback in Green Bay. So the Packers just cannot do that. They're going to air it out. If they want to run with the Eagles, they have to score. They just cannot beat them in a slugfest because it's just not their DNA. They're going to have to throw it, and I think this is going to be a really good DFS game. A.J. Brown has lost a little bit of, I guess, I don't even know what you want to call it. A.J. Brown has lost a little bit of juice. He's Devontae Smith's getting a little bit of heat, a little bit of an injury from A.J. Brown, but he's good to go. He's playing a few $100 cheaper. A.J. Brown's a hammer. I think it's time he gets back into the offense in a big way, and Miles Sanders as well. I think this is a huge DFS game. So my Eagles, my Chiefs. I'll actually won't say my Chiefs. Eagles, Dolphins, Tyler Boyd, Travis Kelce, and whoever that cheap Chiefs wide receiver was. Who was that cheap Chiefs wide receiver that we just talked about? MVS. Those are the plays. We have one more game. We'll get to it. And I don't think this is a DFS game, so that's why I just gave out those. Steelers and Colts, Matt Ryan is back. But at the same time, TJ Watt, Minka are also back. And this Steelers defense is plenty different with them in their lineup. So this game is just complete pass. But it's Monday night. You guys are going to play Showdown. I got to give you something to at least think about. It's just funny. It's funny, man. It's funny just how bad this game is going to be. And just how much I don't want to watch it is what I'm getting at. So let's looking at the slate. Okay, I want to say John Taylor. No, I don't want to. That'd be. We're gonna find someone here. I think it's gonna be Deontay because he's still a viable option. 5 targets. That's so weird. He's gotten 24 more targets in away games than he has home games. There has to be more to that story. But if you just want to run with that narrative, Captain Deontay Johnson. I don't really know what to say for this game. This game is bad, but it's a showdown game where we're going to have to play. So I think Captain Deontay Johnson, obviously stacked with Kenny Pickett, and then just go back with Steelers defense, and then one of the Colts running backs or receivers. I would say receivers because John Taylor's going to be popular. All right, that about does it. Let me go through this and tell you the plays for one more time. Dolphins. All Dolphins, Tua, and any receivers, they are the biggest plays of the week. Tyler Boyd. So just jot this down. Tyler Boyd is the play for this game. Betting wise, under. Betting wise, under. I'm giving you free money right now, so just. I think we're going to go Raiders +4. DM me on that later. DFS, DeAndre Hopkins. Teaser, 49ers -2. Tease that. Travis Kelce, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. This game. AJ Brown. And then I just gave you my showdown stuff for this game. All right, that about wraps it up. About 30 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm going to be up all night, so DM me any questions, bets, DFS. You know where to find me. Peace out. Catch you on Thursday. Yep, Thursday. Peace out.